My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of Danny Boyle's filmography from worst to best. And this video will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But Danny Boyle is a very frustrating filmmaker because he does have a distinct style, but it usually doesn't work for me, and I find lots of his movies to be very unengaging. So, I want to like him more than I actually do. So, let's begin by talking about his worst movie, and it's Trance. This movie has such a cool premise and just destroys it. This movie should have been awesome. This movie should have been interesting, but it's just bland from beginning to end. It's unengaging, and I was really bored watching it. His second worst movie is Shallow Grave, and I have now watched this movie twice, and I couldn't tell you anything about it. Ewan McGregor and Christopher Eccleston are in it, but it's just instantly forgettable and leaves no impression whatsoever. His third worst movie is the Best Picture winner, Slumdog Millionaire. And, I don't care if my opinion's controversial, but I really do not like this movie. There's some interesting ideas, but I just found myself unengaged the entire runtime, and I would never watch it again. His fourth worst movie, and this is going to be a real hot take, but it's Sunshine, which really bums me out because I love sci-fi horror. And this really isn't a horror movie, but it's got elements, but I don't like it. I really don't. I find this movie to be void of any energy or entertainment. I do love the music by John Murphy, but I just find this movie to be so dull. His fifth worst movie is going to be another hot take, but it's Trainspotting. And I do like what this movie is trying to do, and there is one truly horrific scene regarding a baby that just disturbs me to my core. And there's some interesting directorial decisions made here, but it doesn't come together. The execution just isn't there, and once again, I find myself very unengaged with this movie. His sixth worst movie is Millions, which also bums me out because I do like the first act of this movie. I love the use of the songs by Muse throughout this movie, and I love the music by John Murphy. It sounds like something you would hear in a Tim Burton movie, but after that first act, this movie just goes on, and it becomes constantly less interesting as it progresses, and it just ends up wasting all that goodwill it had towards the beginning, so I think it's a bad movie. His seventh worst movie is A Life Less Ordinary. And Ewan McGregor and Cameron Diaz are good. The romance is the best part of this movie, but it becomes a convoluted mess in the last act, and I really didn't care for the angel plot. So it's almost good, but not quite, and I still can't recommend it. But from this point on, it's movies I like. So, his seventh best movie is T2 Trainspotting. And I do think this is better than the original, and there are some truly great moments here, especially the scene in the bathroom that leads into a chase. I also love the use of the song Silk by Wolf Alice, and it does have its funny moments, but I still not as engaged as I would have liked to be, and it's a legacy sequel, and I don't really care for these characters, so I'm kind of whatever on it. His sixth best movie is Yesterday, and it does kind of have an interesting premise on paper, but in execution, it kind of just turns into a generic music biopic, and I don't really care for those types of movies. I also find it baffling that he doesn't sing Wonderwall at the end of the movie. Like, they so clearly set it up throughout, and I'm just confused by that decision, but it's still funny enough. It's still charming enough, and I still like the soundtrack. So it's serviceable, but it's nothing special. His fifth best movie is going to be another hot take, but it's 28 Days Later. Now, I like this movie. I enjoy it. The performances are good. There are some interesting ideas, and the music by John Murphy is great. But I found Danny Boyle's direction to be a constant distraction, and it kind of took away from the movie. And the movie just doesn't have that much to it. It's very unambitious. It's very, I don't know, like, it came out in 2003. That's right, not 2002, 2003. And watching it now, I just feel like I've seen stories like this done much better in the time past. So I understand its importance. I understand why some people love it. I just think it's fine. His fourth best movie, and this is going to be another unpopular opinion, but it's The Beach. There are some really interesting, fun directorial decisions made here, especially the video game scene. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tilda Swinton, the rest of the cast does do a good job, but I just love what this movie is about. Like, it's about paradise and trying to protect it, and there's a lot to think about when it comes to the story, so it does leave quite the impression. So this one is real solid. His third best movie is Steve Jobs, which is kind of frustrating because I love so much of this movie. Like, it's incredibly well written, and I love the unique structure of this movie and how it communicates character growth. But I do feel like the ending goes against the entire movie. Like, the movie beats you over the head. Steve Jobs is an asshole. And then at the end, they're like, but is he really an asshole? And I don't know, it's just this weird decision that really dampens my enjoyment of it. The performances are great, especially Michael Fassbender and Kate Winslet and Seth Rogen and Jeff Daniels. It's well directed, it's well edited, it's well shot, it's well written for the most part. But those final 5-10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, questionable to say the least. And now we get to his top two, and I didn't know which one I was going to put in what spot, but I've decided that 127 Hours is his second best movie. It is a simple survival story, but Danny Boyle's direction adds so much energy and personality to it that he keeps it entertaining throughout. It's a very uncomfortable watch. And when he, cuts off his arm, it's tough. It's tough. That sound, just that, oh my goodness, just kills me every time I watch this movie. James Franco carries this movie incredibly well, and I love how this movie explores the will, what causes a man to want to live. And I thought it hit some real strong emotional highs. So it's not a movie I go back to often, but it's pretty damn good. So that's why it's number 2. And if you've done the math, you would figure out that the brand new 28 Years Later is my favorite Danny Boyle movie. And this one's an odd one because while I was watching the movie, I did feel a bit unengaged with the son and mom storyline for most of the movie. And I felt iffy on it. But the more I've sat on it and the more I think about this movie, I've truly have come to appreciate it more and more. I do think this movie is something special, and I could see myself liking it even more on a rewatch. I don't like the opening scene, but after that, Danny Boyle's direction is so interesting. Like, that weird arrow to the zombie stuff. Like, I've never seen anything like that. The movie looks stunning throughout, but it's the script for me that really does it. I love how Aaron Taylor Johnson isn't the dad you thought he was at the beginning of the movie. I like how Ray Fiennes isn't the man you thought he would be. And I love how this is a story about a boy having to face the harsh realities of his life. And there's certain conversations here about accepting what is, accepting death, and remembering what you loved, and also losing one's land, losing one's culture. And there was something really beautiful there. And look, I said it's a spoiler-filled video, so 1, 2, 3. When his mom dies and the boy is holding her skull, it just moved me. Like, all this life, all this experience with someone, and now she's just this skull. Ah, man, like, it did a real number on me. And I even like when Eric comes into the picture and there's conversations about what society is like now, and how this area is just kind of stuck in the past. And yeah, it makes for some funny interactions. It makes for some interesting ideas. And the movie can be pretty brutal. Like, when heads are getting ripped off, my goodness. I do wish this movie was actually scary, but I still liked it quite a bit. And also, look, the ending is so goofy, but it worked for me. I thought it was fun. I thought it was memorable. And to my understanding, it actually teases something kind of dark, and I don't know what to expect from the Bourne Temple, but I'm much more excited for that movie now than I was a week ago. So, not a complete home run, not everything works, but there is so much to love here, and I just like the fact it's not a generic zombie movie. There is so much more to this movie, and I love how it's more of a folk horror story. Just a really refreshing approach, and the performances are great. So, yeah, I can see myself loving this movie eventually. So that's why it's number one, but that's my ranking of his filmography. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.